countdown is, well, not countdown. The numbers are going up. Nope, that way. There we go. Hi, hello to anyone watching this. In the hindsight of the internet in the future, this is a game that was arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community on the internet that gets together and plays tabletop role-playing games online. Find them at gauntlet-rpg.com. There'll be a link down below of this YouTube video description where you find their blogs, their forums, their podcast network. I think a new episode of the Gauntlet podcast just came out last week. They also have their monthly zine codex, which you can get through their Patreon. And there's the Hangouts calendar, to which this and many other games are arranged. This is session 2 of our still 4-part look into Spire RPG by Grant Howitt and Christopher Taylor. And yes, apparently it is Spire RPG for maximum SEO optimization. That's just what it's called, apparently. Although artistically, it should be called Spire the City Must Fall, which, for those who don't know, industrial fantasy mage punk drow elf revolutionary action against an oppressive elf fear regime in a weird, magical, grotty, ridiculous city jutting from the ground. That is a premise and a half. We are using a scenario from the supplement book Strata. The scenario is called Ironshrike by Benjamin Brock. Basically, our lovely group of ministers from the Ministry of Our Hidden Mistress, which is the quote-unquote revolutionary group Inspire, have been tasked to go to the lowest of the low, the market known as Ironshrike, where the desperate are squeezed for all they're worth, and figure out how to murder a market. So far, leads have been found. But before we talk about what happened last time, because it's been a while, let's meet our characters first. Let's go left to right from the character keeper. So introduce yourself, pronouns, and your character, and a cool thing about them. Not necessarily a cool thing they did, but just a cool thing about them. So we'll start with yourself, Gabriel.
Gabriel, I use he, him pronouns, and playing Varda, the midwife, who, I mean, just a cool thing broadly, the midwives have some of that spider DNA left in them. So I have an extra set of arms that I generally keep hidden unless I need them for anything in particular. But I look after the unborn future of the drow, the babies and their eggs. So I'm part spider, and can do some really cool things that comes with that. One cool thing I got to last time was basically use the web of the mistress and kind of have this crazy extrasensory ability. So that's me.
I love the description of, I'm part spider, just dripping with just a little dollop of nonchalance, like I'm part spider, what's good, Up next, we have Pavel, you tell us about yourself and your character. I should let you introduce this character for us.
Hello, I'm Pavel, and today I'm playing the ink writer Nirvic Evrek, who thinks of himself like a character in a good comic story, fighting the good fight, and revolution and everything. And he's working with this ministry to help improve the dark of life in general. Last time he was he didn't have much luck. His investigation kind of got him into this scuffle with a guy in the back alley, but he managed to survive it, and he's really looking forward to the next part of the plan. I think that's it about Nirvic.
Cool. Well, we acquitted so well. I mean, normal people, when they've got a gun thrust to their face, they'd probably freeze up. It's just what happens. But Nirvic did his best, for sure. But he did need saving from a tall glass of water covered in armor with a big big sword. Kyle, can you introduce yourself and that aforementioned tall glass? Why did I say that? It's just because I have a tall glass of water. That's why I just said that. I'm sorry, Kyle. You introduce yourself and your character.
I'm Kyle, he, him. I'm playing Jaws, she, her, a knight who is basically a gangster in the Spire. She's legally permitted as a knight to carry a big sword and armor, and she does.
Use it quite well against a man with a gun. Well, about as well as that as that could go. All right, so I'm gonna do a recap of what happened and then talk about safety. While I do that, I'm gonna re-ask a question I asked last session, which is, what are each of your characters' plans or ideas to kill off this market, just so we can refresh like what their initial thought was, and if that's changed since when you last thought about it, given the once you've actually in the market and have seen what's in there. So speaking of what happened in the market last session, yeah, you went to the market proper after meeting up at the at a tavern, classic, and we split in two groups. One with Varda and our our blood witch Ceres, who can't be here today. Sadly enough, went off to find blood. Met with a young merchant of blood named Melise, who's far more vulnerable than the front that they're giving off, and gave them a few leads, led them to a gutterkin merchant who I don't remember how they're described. This is what happens when there's two weeks in between the session. I forget how characters are described. Yeah, a gutterkin merchant named Milgris who sold a bunch of curios, who dropped them the name of basically a backer of several stalls and merchants here in Ironshrike. Someone who collects a lot of stuff, who not collects actually, supplies and controls a lot of stuff. It's a then the initials are LHU with hyphens in between, which would indicate fear stuff. I remember Ceres making Milgris cry. That happened. Poor Milgris. And yeah, and gave the name. Actually, no, yeah, Milgris did give the name. Let me find the name. I didn't put them in the NPC just because you haven't met them yet. But the name is Left Hand Unknowing, which is such a presumptive name. Come on. Yeah, and then also Milgris said that they love economics. That's what Left Hand Unknowing does. And then we ended that group's part of the session by running into an Alfir lady, who stands out in the market because most of the markets like drow or humans or gnolls or desperate people. There's an Alfir lady with an entourage who was described as, look up the name, was announced as Mother Falling Ash on Snow, entropic matriarch of the Hungry Deep. So this is the head of a church here in the market. So that's what Varda and Ceres up to. On the other side, Jaws and Nirvic was going off to look for rumors. Nirvic put their ear out and was promptly, well, not abducted, was pulled into an alley by a rather frenzied and hysterical not young, calloused drow named Gasto, who started waving a very nice gun in Nirvic's face because he believed that Nirvic was part of the Church of the Gun, the Helion Knights, so to speak, Brother Helion's group, because Nirvic did work for them back in the day, but it was just it was just a bodyguard, right? It wasn't really not consecrated yet because you don't have a gun, but you will soon, hopefully, maybe. But yeah, gun pointing at his face. Jaws had to come in and save him, but Gasto managed to get away, spouted a lot of nonsense, accused them of being part of somebody's crimes. I forgot the name. Actually, no, the name is here. I should point that out because it's very, very important. Accused them of being part of Vetch's schemes. And then when he ran, Nirvic tried to see what's weird about the situation, and he saw a hooded figure. I think they're hooded. Again, the 2 weeks. They're messing with me. I should have written down the description, but the important part is they're hooded figure. I think they were described as a drow, but the very important part is that for instead of eyes, they have silver coins where their eyes should be. And they were kind of like nodding their head while Gaster was nodding his head or moving his head like that. So that's mysterious. Something to look out for. Yeah. And also, I should mention that you did hear whispers of a cult controlling this market, so who knows, that might be important. All right. So before I ask you all, like, yeah, what your character's plans are to kill this market and whatnot, let's go through safety first. Just to remind folks of the safety tools we have. I will say that cat is adorable and is working as a safety tool in themselves. It's so cute. Anyway, all right, okay. So safety. So part of the tools we're using is lines and veils. There's a tab in the character keeper, L and V. Basically, lines are things that won't be crossed. It won't show up in the fiction at all. It's not going to happen. Veils are things that can happen in fiction, but we're not going to concentrate on them. Like, we're not going to focus the camera on them. Like, we're fast forward over them, or it happens off screen. Like, it happens, but we're not going to dwell on it. I remind folks to check the lines and veils we have. We're also using the X card for this series. Basically, if we do roll into a scene where folks feel uncomfortable for any reason, and any reason is fine, they can say they want to X card that. My attempt to move that curtain didn't work. There we go. So if you do roll into a scene, you feel uncomfortable for any reason, you can say you want to X that either here on the video or on the chat or on the roll for your party. There's a button there. I might ask some questions on what elements being X carded, but no one gets the question if it's used. Like, if it's used, it just happens. We'll roll back and try something else. And finally, we have an open door policy. Basically, if you need to step away from the table for any reason, and any reason is completely fine, whether because there's an emergency you need to take care of, or you're more tired than you thought, you need to like step away, or you need a 5-minute break or a bio break at any time. Anytime is fine. Doesn't matter if, like, I don't know, a bunch of corpse worms bursting from the mouths of King Gris cannibals is on your character. If someone needs to pee, we will pause and we'll let people get on their merry way. All right. So, barring the fact that Varda and Ceres are facing a matriarch of a church, I want to hear the answer to the questions like, yeah, how do each character, what are your plans to, like, kill the market in the most, well, is it in a blunt way or is it in a more subtle way? What's kind of like their plans? And if anyone has an answer, they can just step in.
Only thing I can think of so far is maybe manipulating factions against each other, or kind of mobilizing some of the downtrodden people around here. There's all these gutterkin and kind of lowest of the society that maybe are, getting the worst of the deal here, and maybe they want more, and they could do more than our small group could do on our own.
As far as I remember, Nirvic plan was similar, to mobilize factions against each other. But since so far he had no luck even learning who is who here, we might just go with whatever the Staxis team learned last time.
Jaws is in really over her head, and the best plan she can think of is just kill people until it's not worth the trouble of keeping the place running.
Okay. All right. So as far as I'm aware, none of your characters are privy to that. This is all player info. All right. So I think we'll start with where we left off, which is you, Varda, standing in front of the matriarch. I've forgotten their name. That's really bad of me. The matriarch mother. I'm just going to falling ash on snow. To remind what she looks like, and I'm going to redact whatever the hell I just said 2 weeks ago, because it's been 2 weeks. There was an entire vacation in between that session and now. She's quite lean and gaunt. She's wearing like this intricate black gown with lots of like gold inlays over this gown, and I'm kind of imagining like she has like this flared out like sort of, I don't know, you know how some dresses just have like a big flaring like sort of crest or whatever coming out. And I think her mask is also like black. It's like a whole skull mask. I put a picture in the NPC tab. Um, it's also black again with lots of like gold inlays. It's not exactly that skull that's in the, but it's in the picture. But it clings to her face, and you can see that her face is quite thin and lean. She has like cheekbones that can cut through butter on a cold winter's day. That's a metaphor and a half. So she looks like sharp. And I think as soon as like the two of you kind of like come out of Milgris curio shop, like, and the her guards, she has two guards. Both of them look quite lean as well. In fact, some of them feels like the weird leather armor, weird leathers they're wearing a bit, maybe half a size too big for them. But as soon as like the two of you step out and they announce her name, she kind of hisses and says, "Blood Witch," and like in a moment so fast, I don't think you barely kind of perceive it, Varda. Um, One of the guards kind of like just rushes to Ceres and kind of like you don't know where Ceres is taken. It's almost like kind of like what happened to Nirvic. Like there's just an alleyway that you couldn't see the crook of your eye near you, and that's where we're keeping Ceres for now. Hopefully, we'll see them next week. And suddenly, yeah, Varda, you're standing in front, just in front of this matriarch, and she kind of like pads towards you. She's a bit shorter than you, I'd say. Actually, you're a tall, fuck off midwife, hiding some arms inside, and she kind of like pads towards you. And here's the thing as well, there is an effect around her. There's like a weird aura. Um, it looks like she's barefoot, but of course with elf fear you can't see her skin. So what actually is, it's like again kind of like that weird black leather covering her feet. And when she's padding on like on the floor of the frankly disgusting floor of Ironshrike, it's like dust and mold are kind of like blossoming from her. She smells of decay. She smells quite rank, even for this market that you've been at, and you pass by, carcasses being carved up for weird hooded figures who pass weird stuff. But this person feels like life is leaching away from her bones. And she looks at you and she says, "You're a matriarch as well, aren't you?"
I will try to make myself seem a little less tall, not to stand over her, just kind of bow, deferentially, and just and say, "Forgive me, my lady, if my companion has offended you. We are here out of some desperation, and as you know, yes, I am a matriarch. I serve the midwives and the future of the drow. The unborn children are starving. We are trying to find better sources of blood to feed them, and that's why I brought my companion here. But I've not heard your name before, and I just want to refer to that title, the Hungry Deep, and just ask her, what does this place go hungry as well? Because I'm very familiar with desperate situations like that.
When you say starving, her her shoulders kind of become tense, like not with like anxiety or that, but with anticipation, as if like you say starving, and she's like, "Oh, starving, huh?" And she says, "You're quite right when you describe this place as hungry. Us in the Church of Absolution, the Hungry Deep, We look to the most singular force in all of existence. And this place reeks of that force. This place reeks of decay, miss. And she kind of like pauses to like, basically is asking your name.
Varda of the midwives.
Varda of the midwives. You have strange companions. I'm quite curious how one defender of the drow found themselves partnered with a blood witch.
Well, these are desperate times, and I find myself using unconventional means. I'm here to do whatever's necessary to achieve them, even if it does put some off. But I'm no stranger to that either, and I kind of show my extra set of arms. And I want to, if I can, use my mark. I have the protector ability, whatever it's called, to know protector's eye, to know once per situation.
Protector's eye.
Yeah, what she wishes to protect most of all.
Ooh, okay, so we're gonna take Pavel's wish from last time, and we're gonna like, which the wish is like, get the flavor of this skill. So how exactly are you figuring this out? What does the protector's eye entail? Like, how are you doing this?
Yeah, I think it's you'd kind of see almost like matching her body language. So at first I kind of tried to come down, match her height, and just trying to meet as equals, and just pick up on the nuance, just read her manner and her voice, and try to convey, especially because she pointed out right away that I'm one of the midwives, and I'm a protector as well. Really just trying to kind of, without seeming too obvious about it, kind of just peer at her features and listen. I'm almost kind of occasionally just listening to her voice and seeing as much as I can absorb from her presence, I guess.
Nice. So I think she says, she continues and she says like, actually, let me figure out how she says this. And yeah, she's you're mirroring what she's doing, and she's kind of like mirroring without kind of realizing. But when you display your arms, she kind of like has like a small chuckle, which sounds phlegmy. Like she doesn't sound right. Just like I do have no inconsiderable amount of respect for those who fight against the inevitable. You ask what the hungry deep believe in, Varda of the midwives. We believe in endings. Nothing can last forever. No god, no construction of man or elf, not even this very ground. Everything rots, and everything will rot. That is, well, others would say that is what we peddle, but everyone believes their truths, and that truth is ours. In the nothingness we embrace, it is something pure. It is something sinless, without strife, without struggle. And this place is full of struggle, don't you agree? And here's what you get as she kind of says that. And she says that, and she's looking around, and you can see her stance kind of becomes defensive when she's talking about her church. And what you get is what she was she says she believes in decay and whatnot, but clearly when she says like, oh, this place is all full of struggle, it's full of strife, what she wants to protect is basically the primacy of her church. This is a decaying, horrible place that's kind of like it feels in a sense of like she wants to protect her church from being forgotten, or like this Ironshrike, this place full of decay and struggle and whatnot, to basically displace her church. She's jealous, is what you're realizing.
Do I
And the
get
way she says it.
does she want
Oh, go on.
to sort of maintain things continuing as they are, or does I'm just picking up on all this decay and stuff. I'm wondering if I can encourage some of that to, you know.
Yeah, I think the next thing she says is that with it that the struggle this place has at its heart, just it could very well swallow itself whole. And I think what you get from that is that she wants to kind of like speed up the process in this place. So basically, she's interested in this place going.
Well, then I'll just say, if I told you that my other reason for being here is to end the way things are running here, is there any way that myself and my friends might actually help that along? Because it is not helping the drow children above. And if I have to roll or something, I just want to see if I can become a friend, even though I'm probably a little creeped out at the same time.
That's fine. Ooh, yeah, working with the Alfear. Yeah, I think this is a roll. I don't think there's any difficulty. Should be fine. I will say that you will probably get it depending whether you success or fail. What I want to determine with this roll is like who might notice, or who else might notice, because you're standing in the middle of the market doing this, talking. Someone's gonna notice. So okay. That's a compel low society. We've been using that a lot. You got that. Yeah, you got it. So that's 3d10.
Highest I got was a 5, actually.
Ooh. Okay. 5 is for, to remind folks, it's a failure. You'd want 6 and above. You want 6 and above. So failure takes stress. So here's gonna happen. He says that, and she kind of like again does her phlegmy laugh and say that it seems to me, Varda, of the midwives, that you have more to gain with this friendship you're offering than we would have from you. But do not think I'm not interested. In fact, if you wish to pursue this, and in the meantime, try and regain your friend, let me extend an invitation to yourself, to our church. It's a stone's throw away from here, but the Church of Absolution welcomes all. And I hope to see you in our halls quite soon. And she kind of like leans forward and rather ungently takes one of your hands and kind of like just pats it. Just like, I look forward to seeing you, dear. And you are gonna, let's see, let me look at your stress. You are gonna take some reputation. Actually, no. You're gonna take some shadow stress because you're a drow midwife who's talking quite quite well with an Elfir lady, and the shadows notice this. So you're gonna roll me a d6.
Just 1.
Oh, that's nice. All right, cool. Shadow 1, go. I still have to roll for Fallout, but you're not gonna get it because it's only 1 stress. I'll still do it anyway. It's fun to roll. There we go. Didn't get it. But yes, so she kind of pats you in the hand, and her skull mask is kind of arranged into a smile of sorts. Anyway, But it does feel like she's stretching the skull mask, like just smiling at you. And yeah, she saunters off back where she came, and we'll cut from there to our pulp action hero duos, our fighter duo, our mean streets duos. Well, the other one is like the blood magic weirdo duo. This is the we're here to be merry and have some fun. So
This is
yeah,
in trench coats.
exactly, the trench coat duo. Yeah. All right. So what are you up to now? Gasto is gone. I mean, you could try and find him, but like you're still in the market in the alley. What are you up to?
Uh, I would suggest let's make a cut to my contact. That is, his name is Tegir. He's a trader from the other city, but I think maybe for some reason he's around here because Nirvic really needs to learn who is who and who is what and who does what over here. So maybe we cut. I'm just wondering, would he have a stall over here? Well, that depends from you, because I'm not sure. Does he has like a stall above here, or do we meet him like in some shady alley? Up to you.
Yeah. The thing is, we can play around with time for sure. We don't have to do this like immediately. You can say like after that, I'll like, oh shit, I need to talk to my friend, and we can be loosey goosey with time here. We can say like maybe it's a few hours later, and you've sent a message to meet with him here or at the pub or whatnot. So that's why I can say like, oh, you can go to the church, or maybe you can talk to some outfitted stuff. So we can be fast and loose with time, unless you're like you really need to go find Gasto quite soon. Okay.
No. I'm not. I'm just not really looking for Gasto. Maybe he will come again, and then we can like take his gun. But who knows? So far, this is like mission. We need to learn something about the mission.
You did say Tigger is in the other city. He could totally be here. It makes sense. You get the feeling he's probably some guy who travels a lot in the city. But he totally have a place here. So you tell me, what does that look like? His stall here in Ironshrike.
I wonder. I think because this is the last place for people before they go to hell, which is I mean even more underground. I think he's selling food over here. I kind of feel that this is like the important part here. Probably not the jewelry. I'm not sure about the guns, but there's also a lot of crime. Okay. Let's go with the. I don't want him to be like trading with the people and robbing them. Let's say that he has like he's trading with weapons currently over here, because there was a lot of crime syndicates here. I feel like people need weapons to, I don't know, cut someone and get their blood or do some crime. So
fair enough.
So we cut to the shop where he has like a couple of daggers over here, a couple of swords over here, and we see Nirvic just like politely staying by the counter, just trying to look completely normal. Like this isn't his contact. He is just here to like purchase some weapons. He like leans over and he says, "Tigger, I need to get some good intel. Like what is happening in this district? Who is who? Who is robbing people of their money? Who are the syndicates here? And I know that you know people. So why don't you give me some juicy parts?"
Tigger has a look as if to say like, do I really have to play into this act? But then he sees probably behind you is Jaws with you?
Yes. Unless Jaws unless you wanna go somewhere else.
No, I think I'm looming behind you.
Yeah, I think Tigger. Last time he saw you, you did not have a tall knight with just praising displaying a sword. So it's just like, well, Nirvic, if you want the goods, It's gonna cost you. Things cost quite a bit around here. In Ironshrike, it's not like your hoity-toity places up in the Silver Quarter. No. You pay in many respects here. But you're a friend, Nirvic, right? You're a good friend.
Of course. So, I got some, disposable coins to pay my informants. So, of course.
I think he kind of like very theatrically looks around as if like to see if anyone's around, and he said, and he very surreptitiously puts out a out for lunch sign on the counter, and he comes to you like, let's talk in more safer places. Come here, and he leads you behind the curtain into what is essentially like a smaller replica of the room you were just in, also filled with weapons, but it's clearly the nicer kinds. Stuff that would, let you do quite a bit of work, and he turns around, he rolls around and says, this little op you're pulling here, Nirvic. It's rough. You sure you wanna dive head first into Ironshrike like that?
Yes, I know. Living in Ironshrike is tough, but that's why people need to learn about this place, and people need to learn how this place. People need to learn about this place and maybe see some good folk, some good elf putting some work to make this place better for everyone.
Oh, Nervik, you're such a hero. I could swoon if it wasn't so dead inside. And he throws a look at Jaws like, yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna try anything. So out of character, what exactly you want info on?
Yeah, because practically we don't know anything except this like blood trait and some involvement of left hand unknown. So it would be really cool if we can like learn about other dealings with the left hand unknown, since they are already introduced somehow. But in general, yeah, we need to learn who is who and what major players are on the table, so that because until now our characters are not even aware of this matriarch.
Okay, cool. So here's how bonds work. You can ask an NPC bond to perform a favor on your behalf, something that would normally do. It puts them and your relationship under stress and danger. This is exactly that. So how this works is, I'm gonna make you roll this. It's just gonna be like a normal roll. So we start with 1d10, and then plus a d10 if it's within their area of expertise, which it is, and then another d10 if it's in their neighborhood/home, which it kind of is. So I'll ask you to roll that, because I don't want to roll it myself. It's your friend. So it's 3d10. Okay. All right. So
for the listeners at home, the highest die is 5.
Wow. Last time it was one duo hogging all the bad rolls. Now we have spread it out. That's good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we just had to share it. Okay, all right. So I'll still give you some info, but what happens is this is going to incur some stress on your relationship. And okay, so here's what it kind of says, and he says, "Well, if you know what you're getting into, Nirvic, but the thing with Ironshrike is that you'd want it to be like, a chessboard. You've got your pawns, you've got your kings and queens and your rooks and whatnot and your bishops. I don't know if myself, Leandro, knows if there's bishops in this world, but let's pretend there are. You've got those pieces. The Ironshrike, it's more like, what if you took a chessboard, you cut it in half, and then you staple a checkers board into it, so it looks kind of the same. And then you take, another board game, and you staple it on, and again, and there's like 40 different pieces, and it changes every now and then. I can only give you who are like the big names right now, but you gotta move fast, Nirvic. You gotta move fast to if you want to like put the hurt in any of them, because things could change. It could change as soon as you two just walk out of this shop. So I'll give you some names. I'm gonna scroll up on my notes to to find those names. And he kind of looks down and says, "Oh wait, nope, not that name. If you're looking for like big name weapons dealers around here, like I heard you've met Gasto. Gasto's a bit of a case and a half, and that's partially because of the big time weapons dealer here in Ironshrike, and his name is Vetch. He's a squirrely little human type. He sells quite a bit of guns around here, firearms, ammunition, anything liable to blow your arm off. The thing is, he's reliable. He's quite reliable around here. And he's lasted quite a long here in Ironshrike, and you hear stories about why he's lasted long. Because the story with Ironshrike around here is if you sell weapons, whether it's like a month or two, most people who sell weapons here lose their merchandise quite quickly, so to speak. Not to like with customers, whatnot, but mostly to fire. Lots of fires going around here in Ironshrike. Almost all of them hitting weapons. Like hell, I had a scare and a half a day 2 nights ago. Thought like that particular thing, and he points at like an innocuous looking like just a box whose Jaws' sword tip is kind of almost pointing at this box, and he's like, actually, could you move like an inch or two away from there? That'd be good, thanks. But yeah, not many weapons dealers last in Ironshrike, because usually their merchandise goes up in flames, except for Vetches. Somehow that human pile of offal just sticks around. So I keep one eye on him. The other one I keep an eye on is one of our lot, Drow. Her name's Anka. She's very popular around here in Ironshrike, because she sells corpse fruit. You know what corpse fruit is? I've shared and he kind of makes a joint rolling gesture at you. Hard to get corpse fruit. It's either here or Hemlock Street. And in Hemlock Street, you have to deal with the sisters, and nobody wants to deal with the sisters. You have a better chance of dealing with Anka here. And because of the rarity of that kind of fruit, she's quite sought after. Paranoid, lots of bodyguards. Actually, I'm just gonna look around. She may be in the market for a bodyguard or two lately. She's not hard to buy off. She's a big ambrosia addict. So that's how most people turn her screws. But you gotta wonder how someone who's into something, as common and unremarkable as ambrosia has access to something only they and the sisters have. It's a mystery around here. So right now, those are kind of two of the players around here. But like I said, move fast, Nirvic. Things change around here in Ironshrike. Me telling you this makes things change.
Well, from what you're telling me, this two seems to be in the market for quite some time, so I still have a couple of days. But what's most important over here is like, who is buying from them? Because I walk those streets, and the thing I've seen is that people here are dirt poor, They don't have a penny to their name. So who are those merchants and their corpse fruits? Who's buying them?
I think when you say that, as he smiles, as if like you've realized something about how the market works, and he says, "Well, quite frankly, Nirvic, it's quite precarious down here in Ironshrike. There's a point where like so much of Spire's shit falls here that you do have to wonder who's keeping it going, who's keeping this place running long enough that there's no place for the poor to go but down, and as in down here. So long as Ironshrike is here, so long as there's a market that's like, oh, you can get anything for at any price, you can sell anything at any price, they're gonna keep flocking down here. So you do gotta wonder who's making sure this market keeps going. And I think he kind of like, I feel like after he says that, he kind of realized like, oh well, look at the time, and he kind of like darts as if like he has a very big point. It's like, all right, you've taken up quite a bit of our precious friendship time there, Nirvic, and he pats you on the shoulder, and then he kind of like starts gesturing for you to like leave, and he gestures at Jaws. Doesn't say anything, and then he says like, well, whatever you're doing, act fast, and whatever you're doing, just make sure that old friend Tigger here, well, I get a chance to land on my own 2 feet, right? And he pats you again on the shoulder.
Of course, I always take care of my friends. And from what you told me, and Nirvik looks at yours, I kind of feel that you should move your shop somewhere else. I feel burning in the air. I feel some shops are going to burn to the ground tonight. You better move away, my friend. Take a holiday.
I think he's like sighs and says, figures as much. And then he's muttering as he goes back in his shop. All right, so yeah, if you got a success, I would have given you other names, but those are the 2 names you got, Vetch and Anka. And you're gonna get some stress on your bond, just on your NPC bond. Roll me a. Actually, this is nice. It's just a D3. Info is a nice D3 according to this table. So yeah, how do you roll that roll 20? Oh, there's an XDY button to the right. Just put down 1D3. It's next to set background in roll for your party. XDY. Oh,
I think it's a 1.
Yeah, you keep fading rolls, but you keep just getting 1s in stress. What's up with that? All right. So you got that info. So now I want to know what Jaws wants to do. As we do this like merry-go-round. So Jaws, what do you want to do?
I'm not really sure. I guess we can probably regroup with the rest of the party, try to share notes, form up the plan.
Cool. Actually, since we're at the top of the hour, let's take a fairly big sized break. Let's take 9. Let's come back at 10 past. Then we'll come back at, maybe you're back at civilization, having some more spruce beer. And yeah, chat and figure out a plan and cause chaos. Who knows? All right, we'll be back at 10 past. All right, welcome back. Just do a quick check in. How are folks doing? Folks fine? Cool. All right. So we cut back to civilization. The nice bar run by that unmasked Alfir, teller of tall tales, Lith. I think the tale he's telling right now is the time he took a train into the heart. Yeah, one of you will recognize that reference. Yeah, he just took a train. Apparently, back when the Vermisian was just flowing with information and free trade, which never happened. But he's telling a storm there. I think. Oh, there's another person who kind of meets you up there, who's there at Civilization. When you get there. Giles, can you tell me what Lydia is like? Your squire.
She's, I think, in her like mid-teens, and she's bought into the whole chivalric part of being a knight a bit more than me. Like, it hasn't quite sunk in that we're just another gang.
Yeah, I think whenever Jaws walks in and either of you could be there, I think she kind of she's sitting at the bar and it just stands to attention, and she's just like, "Knight Jaws, Madam Jaws, sir, Sir Jaws, your squire here, reporting for duty, ma'am, sir, ma'am."
Eddie's squire.
She puts down the hand, but she's not at ease. She's kind of rigid and like, I was following my orders, ma'am, Jaws, Night Jaws, ma'am, to come to your aid after, and she kind of looks into her leather armor, pulls out a note and says, after approximately 4 hours. And then she noticed that there's a smudge, and turns out it's actually, oh wait, no, that's 48 hours. I'm sorry, ma'am. I've misread the communique, and I'm sorry, ma'am. And she kind of bows her head.
You're just fine. Just at ease. What about you, Varda? Did you run into anything while we were separated?
I may have found a bit of a lead, and I'm assuming our Blood Witch friend is not here, right? Yeah.
Oh no, she's not. And also, I should have mentioned one thing. When she got taken to the alleyway, so to speak, the spell that they cast that lets you all kind of hear each other, except for Nirvic, yeah, that just got cut off. I think I should have mentioned that. Josh should have realized that. I should have mentioned that earlier. But Sirius is not here. I do want to do. Actually, no. Keep talking. Actually, I'll do this later.
I realized out of character, I kind of forgot how abruptly that happened and went along with it. But our Blood Witch friend Sirius seems to have gotten herself wrapped up in something, and I'm not really sure what's going on there, but. There is a church down there, maybe more like a cult, that wants to devour and consume things, and maybe they might want to destroy part of the market, and that seemed like something worth knowing and maybe learning more about.
That is very interesting.
I think when you mentioned church, Lydia's eyes kind of widen a bit. Church wants to devour things. Huh?
It was very strange, to be honest, and I'm not sure how close we want to get to them, but it's worth knowing what the different groups down there want, and maybe we can use that to our advantage.
We could definitely use that. Once we get some trouble going over there for the people, we can get more people to cause trouble. That would be a good idea.
I think Lydia speaks up and says, "But wouldn't it be simpler to just fight the people. After all, you have the steel of two. One knight and their squire. And no blackguard can stand against our blades. And she says that very proudly, and then looks at John to say, "Did she say it right?"
Kid has a point. I mean, if we're looking to end things, maybe just taking out a few critical leaders, causing some chaos. I mean, I haven't heard of a better plan.
Yes, of course. I was just thinking that I would suggest that we should take out either this Veche or this Anka. Either one will do good, although I think taking out Veche can do better because then there will be less guns, less trouble for us later on. So since his stores surprisingly never burn down, we can be the one to bring some fire to it. And then we can have the people talk on the streets that there is danger for everyone who opens a who wants to sell stuff over here. And then we can get the people involved. That will be like a second step in the plan. But definitely, I think getting some steel and burning down this gun store merchant, this gun store, is a good idea.
Guns are no match against knight's armor. And she pats her chest.
That's not entirely true, Lydia. Keep a healthy respect for firearms.
Oh, yes, ma'am, sir, ma'am.
I really hope what you're saying is right, because we might be up against a lot of guns. So, but your armor is perfectly shine. It shines wonderfully.
Lydia looks at you as if like you've given her like a pony, with that compliment.
What do you think, Varda?
Seems like a place to start, and you're telling me they're not particularly good people, and if we remove another threat, we can get further into our work.
Yeah, they are not good. They are not good people. They are selling weapons to everyone, and everyone can come here. And this Veche is actually a human, so even more that we can do to move those humans out of our town, out of our city.
You say human, and actually, Lydia kind of gives like a small. No. Yeah.
All
right, so
one thing, sorry, as far as the map and our general layout of this undercity in this area, if we're just burning things and destroying things, is there like one gate that goes in and out? Are there a lot of exits and entrances?
I'll say, because Ironshrike, look at the description, is like it's a teeming web of alleys and whatnot. I'd say that is one of many entrances, the one next to civilization. So, there's no shortage of like entrances or exits. That's what you're looking for.
Okay, I was curious.
Cool. So the plan is to go to Vetch and beat him up. Just out of character. I want to know like if that's the plan.
I think the plan would be to like burn down his shop, not necessarily beat him up, but like the Nirvic idea would be to like burn down his shop and then like have some I think it's called town crier to just like run through the streets and shout that, oh no, Vetch store got burned, no good time for opening more stores out here in the Shrike, bad time for merchants, and like dissuade others from opening shops for a moment. That will give us a window for opportunity for the future.
Cool. All right.
But who knows what goes down over there? I don't know. I would very much like to visit the store, maybe like a part of the destruction, learn the layout, maybe buy a gun. Who knows? And then we can burn it down.
Okay, so that's what Nirvic's doing. What about Varda and Jaws? Before we get to the burning down.
I guess it seems important to me to just kind of learn a little more about other groups that might be rivals down there, and of course, I'm curious about this weird church, but I'm in no rush. I can always come back to that.
Yeah, I should add just to make it clear that like the matriarch I'll add a sentence in which he said that's basically yeah Sirius is going to be safe for now, but Sirius is totally with them as leverage, so to speak. We'll get to what Sirius does next week. Yeah,
Me just checking in and making sure my friend's okay, if that makes that an easy reason to visit.
yeah. Well, we'll do it next week when Darren's here. All right, so yeah, looking at the other stuff, like you've heard of Anka, you still have that lead on Left Hand Unknowing, so just a lot of stuff. What about you, Jaws?
I'd like to find out who this shopkeeper's main rivals are.
Ooh. Okay. All right, so yeah, let's start with that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go Jaws, and then Varda, and then Nirvic. That's okay for like just the rotations. That's okay with folks. Cool. So yeah, Jaws. You and Lydia go after I don't know. You've had some beer and I don't know lunch probably. Civilization. So yeah, how do you go about finding out who his competitors are? Like, what are you doing? Like, what do we see Jaws doing? You're muted, Kyle.
I imagine her nightly order has some contacts here somewhere. Just trying to go around asking who the main buyers are, who's competing with this guy.
Ooh. Let's see. That sounds like an investigate low society role. Unless I don't know, you do have that move where you can find like a nearby bar, pub, or inn. Like you can say there's like I don't know a cafe in Ironshrike. That's a tiny setup cafe. It sounds weird if you want to do that, but like if you want to just investigate, see who's around, you can just make that roll.
I think it's investigate crime, I guess.
Cool. Yeah. So that's 2d10 because you don't have investigate.
I got a 6.
Nice. All right. So that's a success at a cost. So you just talk around and we'll get like a montage of you just being cool and taciturn and Lydia trying to keep her cool next to you with his market around you. And I think you get two names. One of them is Gasto. Gasto works here. You met him. You're probably gonna keep. I don't know if you're gonna talk to him or not. He's not in the state, but like you hear that he is also like a weapon stealer, and for sure. And the other name you hear is a person named Omar. Let me put that in the chat. Omar. It's not Omar, but it's it's not Omar the name we know, but like it's pronounced the same. Actually, I think you end up probably like talking to him, and his store is like carved into like whatever buildings behind, but it's a small like sort of small store. It's like weapons and whatnot. And thing you'll notice that some of them have like confiscation tags, evidence tags on some of them. Like there's just a very nice shotgun that's like that has a sticker on it that you can tell is from someplace else. And Omar is kind of like he's sitting on his desk in a way that's far too inviting. Actually, no. I think they. Let me check. Yeah, they them pronouns. Yeah, they're sitting on their desk. They're like a drow with like a headscarf, with a scarf covering their mouth. And if they're like, well, yeah, all us gun runner folk are against each other, and yeah, we all got a bone to pick with that vetch Although really, it's more like it's a race to see like whether we get Vetch or Vetch gets us. And so far the race is still on.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
They raise an eyebrow. It's like, if you don't mind me asking, what's a two of ye lot doing down here in Ironshrike? I didn't think the knights cared much about us down here.
We just heard something was going to go down. We were trying to figure out what exactly was going to happen.
I think you can't see them smile, but you can like feel them smile. Another headscarf, and roll me a D. You got a 6, so this is gonna be a soft one. Roll me a D4. This is gonna be to shadow because again, a lot of criminality around here.
Got a 2.
Cool. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, and make that bigger. And I'm gonna roll. See if you get fallout. You have 2 stress overall, so should be fine. Yeah, you're fine. I rolled a 6. You get fallout if I roll under your total stress, so you're fine for now. So I think the last thing Omar says is that, well, if there's trouble in the offing, thanks for the warning, officer. Or are you just a knight?
I'm a knight.
And Lydia kind of like just puffs her chest again next to you. It's like, yeah, we are. All right. So, was there anything else you need to know? Like, I just want to make sure.
No, that's it. That's good.
Okay, cool. So yeah, 2. So yeah, just to remind folks, yeah, Vetch has 2 rivals: Gasto, who we've met, and now Omar. So let's cut to Varda. Varda, what do you got in mind?
Can you remind me that Anka, that corpse fruit seller?
Yes.
What do we learn about her?
She's a drow stall holder. She's addicted to ambrosia. Yeah, she sells corpse food. Not much, but she's like one of 2 places that could be found. It's not high quality, but it's the only place outside of Hemlock Street, which is in Red Row, where the drug trio known as the Sisters run the drug trade. They're the only other ones who sell corpse fruit. Them and Anka. So she's quite sought after, but she's a bit paranoid, so she wanders around the market. And so yeah, she's quite sought after.
So just another figure in the market that's definitely got a corner on her part of the business. It sounds like.
Yeah.
In demand. Okay. Maybe I will pursue that. Just try to make acquaintances because of what we heard about her maybe being in the market for a bodyguard.
Yeah. I think, like I said, she moves around the market quite frequently. I'll put their name here so in the chat. Anka. Here it's written down. Moves around the market frequently, paranoid but not without reason. So I think there's going to be a bit of a pursuit. Just to find her, and again, you will find her, but the role is marked to determine if there's consequences. People are quite visible here, so it's pursue low society. You're still in the market, and still in Ironshrike. What's a 3d10?
Yeah, got a 10.
Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. All right. So you're someone who looks after, the dispossessed, so to speak. You're a defender of those who can't be defended. So it's actually no. You tell me. I shouldn't be telling you this. You tell me, how do you spot Anka?
Well, if I fill in the scene a little bit. Maybe I do see someone who's who I assume must be her, but maybe she's being followed. Kind of looking over her shoulder, looking a little paranoid, and I maybe see that maybe there's a couple thugs that are getting ready to approach her. And I will just kind of put myself in between them and just like start a conversation with her and maybe dissuade them from whatever they're about to do. If that's not too much.
Ooh. No, that's
My instinct of like, oh, that person is in a little bit of trouble. I can tell that, they look a little vulnerable, maybe.
Yeah, I think for sure. Anka, I'm imagining she's got like a long patched sort of trench coat. Nothing on Nirvic, for sure. Not the same quality trench coat. But and I think it's a hooded trench coat. It's patched all over the place. So it looks homey, but it doesn't look like the most nicest thing. And yeah, you step in, and yeah, there are the two thugs. Common variety thugs in Ironshrike. And yeah, I think you just step in and kind of like your tall, commanding presence. It's probably like enough to like ward them off. And she kind of like cowers a bit, and then she sees you, and because you got a 10, you're rating a nice presence. And she says like, and she's a bit scuffy and dusty, and she kind of like rubs her nose and says, you didn't need to do that.
It's no problem. It's a bit of a habit, really. It just comes with my profession. Couldn't help but notice you looked like you were in a difficult spot there.
Well, if your habit is saving damsels in distress, it's a bad habit around here. You're just gonna get eyes on you.
Well, I don't want to draw any attention to myself or you. I'm a bit new here, and I'm trying to make some more connections. And I couldn't help but notice that you're going about your business alone, and I'm experienced as a bodyguard, and maybe we could talk.
She kind of looks around. She's a bit twitchy, I guess. Well, she's paranoid. The thing is, I don't think, this is part of the critical success of that 10. I don't think I'm going to make you roll for this. I think she's just like, she looks like she relaxes a bit in your presence. But then she says like, you seem nice, but where we are is not nice. So and you seem like you'd be upfront with me, so please be upfront. What's your scam here? What's your gig? What's all this? Is it just your habit?
I'm just trying to use my skills that I have to the best advantage, and I need to know who runs things here, who's really in power. And heard you were someone of note, and I would like to befriend.
Like she lets off like a small bitter kind of chuckle and says, friends are worth quite a lot here, and it seems like you know my name, but if you want to be a friend, I have to know yours.
Sorry, my name is Varda.
It's nice to meet you, Varda. I guess you know me, but if we're gonna be friends, I'm Anka. I make ends meet here. I just try, like everyone else. My last bodyguard, they had a I'll spare the details. Involved a lot of fire and some weapons going kabloom, kabloom. I don't know that. You gotta understand, if you're here to protect me, you're gonna you're gonna come in between me and a lot of things.
Well, I'm not here alone. I am working with other friends, and we we want to make this place better, if that's possible, as much as we can. We don't want to let things continue the way they are. There's too many who are just at the bottom and are, while the ones at the top are benefiting from their suffering. And so perhaps if you can help me better understand what's really going on here, we can make big changes in this place, and maybe it will be to your benefit.
I think she does another bitter laugh. She says, well, if you're not going to break your habit, and kind of rubs your chin, then if you're going to be my friend, then for now, don't let me break my habit. And I think she kind of like leads you to where her stall usually is. And so kind of away from there and to Nirvic. So you're looking for guns, Nirvic?
I think we cut to Nirvic being probably already inside Veche store, and just we cut as he's explaining to maybe Veche himself that well, you see, I represent an important client from the works. We are looking for a long-term opportunity to have a stable client to supply us with guns. But we heard that some traders here in the Shrike don't last very long. So I was wondering if you could, sell your store as something trustful that will last for a while if we decided to come to engage into the partnership. You understand?
Vetch is played by Christian Bale. I just decided. And he kind of like, there's a grace to him as he's kind of like, I imagine his store is kind of like very nice. It's very clean. It's very well maintained. You can see all his wares and whatnot. And he's kind of like, his hands kind of like hovering over like the desk where small arms are on the desk between you and him. And he says, well, if you've come to my place and you've heard what I've had to offer, and if you're as discerning customer as you are, then you know that everyone else here in the market sells, well, what compared to mine, what they sell is, quite frankly, pig shit. So you've come to the right person.
Well, isn't that your race, which is investigating the ancients and creating those wonderful pieces that shoots? But I'm still not certain that your shop is going to last. So why don't you show me how can I be sure that your shop will last if we engage into the partnership? Basically, what I'm looking for is I want him to like show off his like security, what is there, and maybe I can spot some weakness, how we can engage his shop if we are to burn it down. Because otherwise, yeah.
All right. I think I can make a roll for this, or you can use. You have an ability here. Do it for the story. Once per session, an NPC you're talking to does precisely. Oh wait, no, sorry, I misread that. I thought it's what you want them to do. Sorry, not my bad. Never mind. Yeah, okay. So this is supposed to be a roll then. This is a again. It's either compel or deceive. I think it's more compel or. Well, you're.
If you want to go with those two, it will definitely be deceive because I'm kind of assuming a fake persona over here, like I'm faking to be a buyer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. Yeah. You.
Or it can be actually investigate because depending what's more important. Is it more important to deceive him to share some intel or to see actually what we need to see, like some weakness or something?
Okay. I think probably I'll give you investigate. You pitched it to me well. I think yeah. Investigate low society. Actually, no. I'll tell you what. Actually, no. That's fine. Yeah, investigate. I should make up my mind. But I'll give you a difficulty of 1 because you're still trying to fool him.
Okay, and which domain? Is it crime? Is it low society, or is it commerce?
I think this is. Ooh, I think it's low society. You're you're kind of like you're speaking his language, so to speak, which is shady gun runner
Okay.
in a crappy part of town. But a difficulty one, so that leaves you with 2d10.
Ooh, I got a 10. First success. Wow.
Cherish that success. All right. So I think he quite smoothly, he shows you what he's got going on. I think. Ooh, no, what I like to do with Tense is that you tell me what he's got going on. Like what is his security like, and you can make this as robust or as not robust as you like.
I think I'm going to say that he has a couple of guards working on shifts. So that's his strong point. But his weakness is that in this location there is nothing really well made, and it's clear to us, and it's clear to Nirvic that there is some entrance to this to some. Is there some sewers underground in this place or not?
Oh yeah, there can be sewers if you want to. Yes, there are sewers for sure.
So maybe let's call them, I don't know, under tunnels or something like this. Tunnels in the undercity. Yeah, that's amazing. So we clearly see that there's like an exit from the tunnels, like a back entrance, and that there's like nobody standing guard over there. Like they don't expect anyone to come through there, or maybe and what else would be interesting, guys? What other vulnerability are we interested in?
Yeah, I'll let you have one more. I mean, I gave you a 10, but I already gave you tunnels. But I'll let you have one more vulnerability.
Yeah, I think I have one. But guys, do you have some ideas, like Sharon?
I mean, you talked about wanting to burn the place down. It could be that. I mean, there's a lot of gunpowder sitting around. But,
Yeah, that was
big fire.
yeah. That was exactly my idea. So a store like this must also have some place to store gunpowder. However, they were like not able to like install like the proper door, or maybe their like metal door with like many locks are like currently being exchanged to a better model, and there is just like simple tarp over it, and there's like completely unprotected. You can just like walk in there and set it on fire because you're replacing to a better model of the door.
All
But
right.
of course, you have to be inside to get in. But it sounds like kind of fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Yeah. So he finished the kind of the tour, and I think we're back to the desk, and he says, well, as you can see, compared to my competitors, my longevity is assured because I care about what I do. And I care about making sure that all my customers, well, they get what they pay for. And I think he kind of smiles and says, like, well, because you got, again, the 10 is doing a lot for you. So he's not going to like press you and like, oh, do you want to buy something right now? But he does have, there's the implication is there.
Of course, and Nirvic says, well, now that we have surveyed your security and it's like top notch, really best I have seen over here, like there's one last thing. You see, you named the stuff that other traders are selling a pig shit. Now, my client needs reassurance that what you are selling is really coming from, it's really best quality. So I'm like, I will need to get some sample model, something that you would like to my employer to see and appreciate the art of the design.
All right. So I think he kind of like smiles. American Psycho Christian Bale specifically, Christian Bale and American Psycho specifically sort of smile. And he kind of like, so he's going to show up a lot of stuff. And I think what we're going to do is you're going to roll me some stress on your silver. This is how buying stuff works. We we'll roll stress on one of your stress tracks, and for this one is very simple. It's silver. Let me double check the rules on buying stuff. I need to make sure. This is a moderate purchase. It would have been expensive or exotic, but again, I'm being nice. That D10 is doing a lot for you. So say this is a D6 on your silver track. You don't have to roll for this because you're already here at the store. And this is gonna go for like and then you'll tell me what you get. So roll me a D6 for on your silver track.
Yeah, I'm really curious. Do you want to buy it or do you want to steal one?
Ooh,
That's really curious. Yeah, I think I would be totally fine with just buying it, but this has to be like a good one for the story. So maybe among all of those guns, like there is something that really piques Nirvic eyes. Like it's like and he like while browsing will just try to like take this one and just like hide it in the back pocket because he knows that he is probably not having enough silver to buy this one. He will have to buy something else. But man, this really talks to me. This one. And this is the last moment because tonight we are blowing this place.
okay, all right. So that's a steal. Low society. Then you don't have steal, but okay. 2d10.
No, I don't, and I'm not, and I haven't used my cool talents. But no, this wouldn't help me. People are scared.
Yeah, I think the stuff you have here will be better for when you're actually burning the place down.
Not sure, but yeah, and the difficulty.
That D10 is doing a lot for you. I keep saying that. I'm being nice. The difficulty of none. So you have 2d10. I'm a fan of players. I want you to have this gun. You could have just bought it, but then you're gonna try and steal it. So
It's another 10.
Okay. You do it. And you do it so well.
It's really nice that they added the animation that you see the dice turning so that you know that they were actually rolled.
Nice. So here's what I'm gonna do. You get this gun, and you tell me what this gun is. It can inflict D6 stress, and you get to choose the tags. So keep that in mind. I'll tell you where. It's a lot of stuff to suddenly throw on you, but like because it's a D10, I want you to have a really nice gun. And you're gonna choose two tags that are positive, and one. Actually, no, it's 3 tags. One of them has to be a bit negative, like either unreliable or extreme range or something like that. But I'll give you time for that. You don't have to do that right now, but because I'm gonna cut to the other characters.
Cool. So just before we do it, my refresh is do something reckless for the sake of the story. Is stealing a fancy gun from a fancy store right before it blows up. Is it kind of reckless? And possibly blowing up my entire cover?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Let me double check. I have to refresh because most of the time when I've run this game, people refresh by getting fallout inflicted on them. So let me double check how to actually refresh.
Yeah, I really wanted to try this one as well.
All right, cool. This is fairly reckless, I'd say. So roll me a d6. That's how much stress you're going to refresh.
Unfortunately, it's only 1, but it's totally cool.
Yeah, it bumped you down to 3 stress, which is good. It's still good. You all keep rolling 1s in your stress rolls. What's up with that? All right, so you've got this gun, and I'll let you figure out. If you want to know where the tags are, there. What page?
Yeah, I see them. I see them in the book along with some samples. So I'm looking at them.
Okay, cool. All right. So, is there anything else other characters need to do before we get to this trying to burn down the space? What about you, Jaws? Anything else?
Good for us to go with the attempt. Yeah.
I can't wait to just see you try to fight people. I don't know. They're guards. Varda, is there anything else you want to talk to the Anka? I unless you wanted to say like in-depth scene, I'm just gonna like tell you what she like says.
Yeah, that's fine. If there's just any particular people that have been giving her trouble, especially that people that might be a problem that we should know about.
Ooh, okay. All right. Okay. Let me just double check this list of NPCs. Let's see. She recently acquired her stall where she is right now. You'll notice in the street in Ironshrike where it is. It's it's let me double check. I need to like, double check this list. Give me a moment, sorry.
Yeah, and out of character again, I'm just trying to see who might we could turn against each other or put the blame on for things and just bring things down.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, all right. She points out one person specifically harassing her is like there's a very well dressed drow. Um um who's been walking around and kind of like very aggressively arguing with some of the stall holders here. They've recently just arrived. If it feels like I'm throwing a lot of names, folks, that's kind of like how Spire works. It's a lot of like interlocking factions and whatnot. But yeah, there's this drow who's in a very nice like suit and waistcoat. And to you, I think you know this well enough that this is a drow that's clearly like either in their durance or just working for an Alfir. Um, she points it out. She says their name is Omore. Let me Omore. Um, they've been asking some really pertinent, weird and pertinent questions about like who owns what here in Ironshrike. I think that's kind of like when you ask like who's been harassing her, it's like specifically that person. Okay.
That's good for now. Yeah.
All right. So, burning down this place. Okay. We were at the top of the hour again, so let's take another break. Let's come back at the top of the hour, and then shenanigans. Holy crap! All right. See you in a bit.
Leandro, I'm looking at the suggested equipment,
Mm-hmm.
and there is like a strike pistol. I'm totally fine with this. If you want to add some negative tact to it, because unfortunately the selection of negative tact is kind of small. There is unreliable for ranged weapons. There is reload, but it's already the double barreled, so
Yeah.
that doesn't fit.
No, I'm fine with if you just want the strike pistol then.
Yeah, I like examples because otherwise it's like hard to
Yeah.
find something. I'm totally fine with it.
Cool. All right, so you got a very nice strike pistol, and he wasn't lying about his merchandise. It's pretty good. Probably something good enough that Brother Hellion would be like, "Well, damn, you got yourself a gun." He's not gonna have a Texan accent when you meet him. I have to write it down. I cannot let him have a Texan accent. No. All right. So, just a quick check-in. How are folks doing? Fab. You're ready to cause chaos?
Of course.
Of course you are. You are. All right. So, yeah. So tell me, how is this gonna work? What's the plan of attack? If this was Blades, I'd be like, "Oh, just roll an engagement roll and I'll toss you in some place." No.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yes, I suppose you are the leader of this attack. So, what's the plan?
Everyone's looking at the knight like, "What's the plan? You got a big sword. You tell us."
Out of character, I have no idea what to do with this. So,
I think if in character, if people are looking to Jaws, I think Lydia is going to be like, "Well, we do what knights do best. We wade in, have fun, and cause justice to happen."
I'm trying to think of a plan that would utilize our character's abilities, not only fight skill.
Mm-hmm.
I had one suggestion. I think the knight's ability, can't you basically start a fight just like for a show or for a distraction if you have that ability, or you can draw attention? So if we wanted to sabotage this door or something, we could start that way.
sure, yeah, I can cause a distraction outside while you two go in and, I guess, sabotage stuff. Sure, I can do that.
Yeah, it looks like Varda's has some skills that are pretty good at like protecting others, which makes sense. And Nirvic here is the one who's going to cause chaos. That seems to be how it goes. Okay, so we'll start with a distraction, and then we'll go from there. Is that okay with folks? Okay, so let's read this move. Pick a fight. Once per situation, ask the GM who is the best person in the surrounding area to pick a fight with on one of the following conditions. So, Jaws, which one of these conditions are you picking?
I want to cause a distraction.
Okay. And this surrounding area, is it the area around Vetch's place, which is that's the area, right? Or is it a bit further away so that which one would be?
I guess it's like pretty close by because we want to distract them, I guess. So
Cool. All right. So I think what you'll notice, and I'm imagining like Jaws, you're like viewing the scene, looking like serene and cool. Next to you, Lydia's antsy, like I'm gonna beat someone up. And I think, okay, here's the person you see to pick a fight. Hold on, let's look at the chat. Most likely best person to pick a fight. Oh, okay. Here's kind of what happens. You know how Omar said that, they're kind of on a rate. Actually, no. Let's just make this like a big fight. There's this big knoll, big furry gnoll. I think they look like they're wearing armor that's like had to be like welded onto them to to like so that they could wear it. You don't know how it comes on or comes off. And I think they on one hand they're kind of like carrying like a crate, and they're heading towards like Vetch's shop. It looks like they're making a delivery. On one hand, they're carrying a crate. On the other hand, oh no, on their back they've got like a wicked-looking hammer. So the best distractions because they're working for Vetch. I think you can notice as well because they're about to head into the shop with the crate. What do you do?
I'm just gonna walk up to him and I guess shove him. Like, hey, this isn't Vetch's. This is for Vetch's rival.
Damn it! I just forgot Gabriel was in that hard game, so if he catches me reusing NPCs. God damn it! Sorry, I was distracted by that. What did you say again, Johnson?
Walk up and try to pick a fight. Say like that box he's carrying should go to Vetch's rival, not Vetch.
Yeah. You can tell them that Omar is claiming this delivery or something like this.
Yeah, I do that.
I think this might just be that. No, I think they look at you and as it like it's about to hawk it, they can say, well, you tell that stripling Omar that he could come claim whatever he thinks is his himself and not send some do-gooder to do his bidding. And I think this Snow. She reaches up and kind of like just lightly like pats you on the cheek, like, don't be trying to cause any trouble now.
I punch her in the face.
Hell yeah. All right. I want to see this roll, and then we'll see how well this distraction goes. So this is obviously fight. And you're still in low society or crime. Either one works. Either way, you have a domain, and I think there's no difficulty here. You'll catch her. She's overconfident.
I got a 10.
Hell yeah! All right. So, unfortunately, with the punching, let me look up what is the the stress die for punching. Let me double check. Because you're gonna do it. Where is combat? Sorry, give me a sec. Just search here. There it is. There. I just want to be sure how much. I think it's a D4. So I can't find it, but I'm pretty sure it's a D4 for like unarmed. You don't have any moves that do it unarmed now. Okay. All right. Cool. So roll me D4. And how many 10s did you roll? Just the one?
Yeah, just 1 10.
Okay, cool.
And I rolled a 1.
All right. So you're going to inflict +1 stress for each 10 you roll. I should have realized I should have quickly statted up this person. Let me do that very quickly. It's actually really neat. It's very quick. They have like 2 stats, armor and resistance. That's it. And you can wear down their resistance. Basically, you're inflicting stress, so you can wear down resistance by insulting them, that sort of thing, or getting things. It's like a clock, I guess, in Blades. A lot of like fictional stuff can reduce someone's stress, or you can stab them. That works just as well. All right, let me just very quickly what she's got, and I'll take your note, Pablo. The examples are nice when you very quickly have to stat up an enemy. Let's see. One resistance, not that much. Actually, no. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So you punch her. She stands her ground. You punches her, and she just like growls, and kind of like licks her lips as she kind of like sets down the crates gently. She's a professional, and doesn't even go for the hammer and just tackles you into like the crowd, into the other stalls, and then suddenly there's a big commotion. And I think this is enough to draw Vetch out, because then you rolled a 10, for God's sake. And Vetch is gonna come out, and yeah, the shop's open for Nirvic and Varda. What do y'all do?
I guess start a fire near all that powder and get out of the way, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we didn't set the time of it. I wonder if it all happens after the shop open hours, or is the shop open 24/7? Like, what do you think?
I think maybe it's just past closing time. Ironshrike is still a bit lit up because some folks are 24 hours and some folks just really need to sell some stuff. But I think Vetches has just kind of closed. And I think, and that's why, oh, fuck it is just anathema from that heart game. Yeah, that's why this Null is doing the delivery. Rattled my nerves, Gabriel.
I was thinking it was really cool, actually.
Yeah, spoilers for our heart game. She doesn't have the best ending. But yeah, I think it's about maybe half an hour after it's closed a bit. But Vetch has come out anyway. He's come out with one guard. And you know, Nirvic, when you were looking around, that there's another one inside, at least.
Yeah. So I think I think the camera goes from yours through the like layer of the ground, and then we cut to some under tunnel, like dark. Some water is dropping from somewhere, and us probably with some light source. I don't know. Do we use torches or do we have something more advanced for the light source over here? Because we're just approaching this like exit from the tunnels to the shop that I've seen.
I mean, you can have torches, or you have something spoopy.
Yeah, I suppose we would have like a oil lamp, but the one that directs the light like in front with like mirrors inside. So like carrying it, and my cool pistol in the other hand, just like approaching the exit and saying, "I'm not sure how many guards left to use, so be careful. There could be one more inside. Hold the lamp. I will go. Do you want to go in first, or should I go in first?"
I'll actually put my hand on Nirvic's shoulder and just says, "Wait, I can look ahead, and you'll see." Almost, I'm thinking there's like almost like there were other spider eyes that weren't visible. Will just kind of light up on my head as my other eyes just kind of go blank, and I want to use my little web of the mistress ability and try to just perceive around. I can look around the whole building for a second and see who I see.
Cool. All right, roll fix plus occult, and yeah, I think there's no difficulty here. This is what you do. You're in this tunnel, so that's 3d10.
All right, nope, that's a 4.
Oh dear. Ooh, that is a 4. Okay. So tell me again, how does this work when you cast a spell? Because I'd like some bit of flavor in this spells, because now I realize I can use that flavor against you. So what is it?
I think one obvious thing is I'm sending my senses way outwards, so I'm not aware of my immediate body. Would be one thing.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm aware of so much at once that it's overwhelming. That could be a thing too.
Yeah, I think you sound the sense, and you sense like, oh, there's like you sense like, there's a life form inside the business, but then you feel something kind of latch onto your senses, and then suddenly the life form that you detect suddenly multiplies. Suddenly it's like it's suddenly like millions of life forms inside this that's what you're sensing, and it's just overloading your senses. It's like, it's like trying to squeeze as much like stuff inside the receptacle in your head. And you're gonna roll me a I'll still be nice. Roll me a d6 and mind stress. You all been rolling low on your stress die, so oh dear.
Oh, there you go.
Oh dear. All right, so let me just put it up. So you have a mind +1. Over the existent shadow gives you up to 5. D10. Oh, lucky you. I rolled a 6, so you're still fine. No fallout yet. But yeah, I think you detected there's a life form inside, and then suddenly something kind of like latched on, and I think that wrenches you back into the tunnel.
I think I come back, but I'm kind of dazed, and just tell Nirvic that there's one thing there. There's a million things there. There's definitely something in there. It's hard to say.
Varda, you are not making any sense. One thing or a million things there. He wouldn't fit a million guards in his shop. I will go take a look myself. I was like, here, hold the light. And
Behind you.
yeah. And by the way, you can just throw the lamp into the powder cakes. Just, give me some fair warning. And and Nirvic will like climb up. We will see like this like hatch that's like opens, and he like takes off his hat, just his head like poking through the hatch to see if there's nobody inside. Like quietly moves the hatch, and then Nirvic wants to like go and sneak to the guard so that he can like put the gun from behind to him, and we will not, and hopefully the guard will not notice him before he does that, because this guard will be our vessel to creating our story, and there are some vigilantes burning down shops.
Ooh, all right, cool. All right, so let's do this roll for you to sneak to get the drop on him first. All right, so this is sneak crime. You've got the 2d10. Yeah. All right, and I think there's difficulty. There's no difficulty. It's fine. I've decided the tone I've decided is for you is less grim and more y'all badasses. That's why you're not getting much difficulty. Because I want to see. I'm a fan. So 2d10.
Actually, before I do that, I think I also want to use some abilities because because I haven't used any. I have common fears, which allows me to determine what most people are scared of around these parts and channel it into yourself. When you embody that fear with your acts, clothing, speech, role of master against people in this district until the end of current situation. So I think, yeah. So I think we see like just before he goes through the hatch, he like stops, just like sniffs the air, and like think of all the people he has seen on the streets and what they might be afraid of, and also of the guards in the shop, what they might be afraid of. So this actually requires me to roll investigate plus occult to cast it.
All right. You both got those. So 3d10.
Let's see our magic. Magic says 7.
7. 7's good. It's success at a cost. So you take in the sense the sense. Yeah, the sense of just all the fears and worries that this district has had, and it's a pungent aroma for sure. Ironshrike thrives in the fear of others, just in their just the things that they don't want to like face. So I think you'll get what this guy is, and I'll figure it out as soon as as you try and sneak and fight him. But like you're gonna incur some stress, and I think just the aroma of it is a bit much for your mind. So roll me a d3.
I will roll the d6 and I will halve it.
All right, cool.
It's 5, so it's a 3.
All right. So 3. Will one of you incur fallout today? We'll see.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that will be me.
We'll see. I can't believe it. I rolled a 7. How? And you have a 6 in strength. What? This? I'm gonna switch out this D10 for another one. Big fan of the movie. All right. So I think we'll cut from there from you for a moment because I want to get back to the fight. But I think you get a sense of like what they're afraid of. So let's come back to the fight. So Jaws, you've been tackled by this knoll. I think. Well, no, you rolled a 10, right? You rolled a.
Yeah, I rolled a 10.
Yeah. So okay, she tries to tackle you, I guess. But I think what it does is like you kind of just back away and you kind of fall into like a bunch of stalls and whatnot. And I think what's happened is like you're in like you're circling each other, I guess. And she says like, "There's no room for do-gooders here in the Shrike. Why don't you just find some sad drow to like look after? Here, everyone just gets eaten up." And she's kind of like unsheathing her Nolish warhammer from behind her.
I'm gonna try to tackle her, stop her from getting that weapon out.
You're really not giving them an inch. Just like no, we're not gonna have banter here. I'm down with that. Let's see, fight. Low society. I think it's a 3d10. I think actually no. If you want to do it before she unsheaths her hammer, that's difficulty 1. So 2d10.
Okay, 2 it is. I rolled a 10.
All right, so you rolled a 10. Tell me what happens. You tell me.
I just sort of, as she reaches back, I sort of tackle her back into some crates and just stop her from getting the sort of like toss the weapon away and just get in some punches, more to distract her than actually hurt her. I'm trying to stop this from getting too lethal.
Cool. All right, so I think that's still gonna inflict some stress on her. And I did check actually, unarmed damage is only 1 stress. So that roll that you made is still fine because it was only 1 stress. But I think this is still also 1 stress. So yeah. So you've knocked her down. You've got her under control. You're punching her. You can hear Lydia shouting in the sound like, go on, sir. I mean, ma'am. I mean, Knight Joss. I mean, go on. And I think you've got her under control. But I think you hear the sound of a gun cocking. And when you look up, you see Vetch has got 2 hands on like a fairly wicked looking magnum looking gun. But here's the thing you notice. His hands are shaking. And he says like, I've never really had to use my merchandise before, but you're making a very good case for it. So would you please, enough of this nonsense.
I'm going to try to maneuver the knoll around so she's between me and him. And just be like, hey, listen, there's no need to bring out weapons into this. We were settling this like gentle people. Just try to stall for time while they do the stuff.
Cool. I think I think this is a bit of a compel. It's like just get into like calm down. And I think each crime or low society, you all pick the right domains for this adventure for sure. And yeah, do that roll. I think difficulty of 1 still kind of applies. He's twitchy, like he's far less smooth than he looked in the shop. In the shop, he was all like, "Oh yeah, I've got weapons," but now he's actually holding a weapon. He looks a bit more unsure.
I got a 5.
Is it a 5 and a 7 or just a 5?
Just a 5.
Okay, cool. Okay. Ooh, he takes a shot at you. Through the knoll. Um, let's see. Let's see. What is the gun that he has? Um, Either way, a gun is a D6. I think that by default, a gun is a D6. And I'm gonna say that actually, what he has is it's not really a magnum. I think it's actually like a small double-barreled, like sort of shotgun thing. So roll me a D6. That's gonna be your blood stress, and you've got armor, right? Yeah.
I rolled a 2, and yeah, I'd like to take that on my armor.
Yeah, cool. All right, so mark down your armor to 1. I think that's how armor works. I need to recheck, but that seems fair. I don't want to. You can't always just have a 3 armor there. I'm knocking down to 1, but yeah, he shoots through the null, and she kind of yells really loudly as it kind of like penetrates through her. She's still alive, because you rolled a 2. So she's still fine, but that also comes out on her resistance. And yeah, you just tank it. You fucking tank, sure. All right, let's cut away from you. And to do we want to do this Nirvic sneak on the guard thing, or Varda, is there something you want to do first?
No, if he's going ahead with that, I'll follow the lead. If necessary, I have another idea, but I think I was a little dazed from my last thing I tried to do, so I'll let him do what he's doing.
Cool. All right. So Nirvic, here's the thing you sense that this guard fears. I don't need to give him a name. There's too many NPCs. Guard B. He is Guard B. I'm imagining. Oh, I'm imagining things. He's wearing a vest. He's a drow. He's got a nice vest. That's the most I've built him up. But you do get the sense that he's someone who doesn't like. He is afraid of authority. He's afraid of being yelled at.
Oh, so. I'm not sure if it's actually built into the move, but since I'm an ink writer and I can create stuff on the fly, I think we see Nirvic cloak becomes like a shining chainmail like. It's not like actually, but like just looks like this. And he just like, yeah, some authority over here. He like gets out and I think because this is an authority, he will like totally just like walk from this like back room to the main room, aim the gun at the guard, and says, "Listen, you scum! The time of this place is ending tonight. The knights are coming down here to burn every little shop in this district. And you, if you want to live, run now and tell everyone to be ready for us. Some authority is coming here. Finally."
Wow. All right. Let's see the roll.
Actually just like create that he will go and he will like start telling people about some mysterious knights coming and destroying the shops. This is like just to create like there's like a word for it, a red herring, or just like, this we will then play to maybe, hopefully.
I think I do want to roll just to see like how well it goes. It's gonna happen.
Of course.
Yeah, but let's see. This is a compel. You're compelling the fuck out of him. Compel, crime, and you've got mastery because you're doing your thing. So that's 4.
4 dice.
Yeah.
So I need to roll myself one more d10 and then reload. And I will first roll d10 and then reroll those 3.
Okay.
So we got a 6 and now reroll the first 3. Highest is a 6.
6.
So,
6 is a success. So I think you must be getting followed at some point. I think when you say all that, he looks at you and like you do look like a knight and whatnot, and you look like you as you say. His eyes widen, but I think he sees your face for sure. I think he kind of like for a moment he sees kind of like your face through like the facade you put. So that's who he's gonna be spreading. Like this man is leading the knights, something. So you're gonna get shadow stress. Roll me a d6.
A D6. Oh, it's a juicy 5. Time to get some fallout.
If it's not, I will be very surprised. Well, you have a total of 10 stress, so I have no idea. Okay, this is gonna be Fallout. All right. Let me look at the Fallout stuff. This is how little Fallout happens when I've run Spire. Everyone just does stupid well. Let me double check. Rules. There we go. Stress. What? When it happens. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool.
If you're figuring out Fallout, if it's possible, I'm going to use my ability to take it instead. My martyr ability.
Oh shit!
If it's because it says if it's even feasible to do so, so maybe it hits my reputation instead or something. Because I'm standing, I will come out at the same time, maybe.
Nice. All right. Cool. So it says here, they ignore the effects of the fallout. So you're still at 10 stress, but you're fine, Nirvic. Yeah, I think when the guard sees all that, you're looming in the shadows, and you've got like your forearms and your spider eyes. Yeah, love that. So, and you're gonna roll a d6 stress to your shadow.
Oh, that's a 6.
Oh dear. Okay. Sorry. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't even need to roll for this one. I think the fallout. I'm more interested in the fallout happening as after the situation. To be honest, if that's okay with folks. Because there's still a situation happening, and this is going to be rough. So I think the guard runs off, and you have the run of the shop, the two of you, and yeah, I'll save the fallout for like next session, or maybe at the end of this session. I'll go on there.
Well, the fallout seems like being like not necessarily right now, right here, especially the bigger it gets.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, this is big.
Or somehow recognized, so it's totally fine after we exit the shop.
Okay, yeah. I'll save it for now.
Yeah, and I think that seeing the guard run away, I think we can just like cut to maybe Yos talking to Veche when we see the two of us that's just like Nirvic and Varda just like leaving the shop. And the shop just like explodes after like a couple of seconds. We just like run through, and there's like a.
I'd love to say to Nirvic, I hope it's worth it for your story. This is we had to step things up, to get a little more exciting for your next chapter.
This is amazing. Like the next comic is going to be like, whoa, shop exploding, fighting in the streets, and this market. Oh, this is going to be amazing. Believe me.
I mean, I can be holding, 4 guns. It'll be great.
Ah, 4 guns. Oh, yes. You're like, I forgot your. Yes, a midwife holding 4 guns in 4 hands. That's amazing.
You're having this chat as you're walking out of the store. So I think chronologically, before the explosion happens, let's settle what's happening with Jaws. So Jaws, you got shot. You got a screaming wounded No in your arms. At the moment, what do you do?
Well, he brought a gun into this, so I pull out my Grackler pistol and shoot him back.
Oh shit. Yeah, I think fight crime still works. I think difficulty 1 because you have to toss anathema the no out of the way.
All right.
2d10.
7.
7. All right. So 7 success. Success at a cost. So let's see. Let's look at your resistances. Okay, all right. Here's what happens. All right, actually, roll your damage first. You've got a cracker pistol, D6, brutal. Okay. Do
Got a
you want
4.
to know? Do you want to know what a brutal attack does?
You roll 2d6s and pick the highest, I believe.
Yes. So you roll roll it again. If it's higher than a 4, that's what you get.
I got a 4.
Oh! Wait. I think you add them together if they are the same.
Oh.
Oh. Let me double check. Yeah. When you roll for stress with this weapon, roll 2 dice and pick the highest. Multiple instances of the brutal tag stack. So you have to be like, if like a move gives you brutal, and yeah.
No, it's 4. I thought that you add, but maybe you need something else to add them. Yeah, go.
Well, the thing is, unlike his guards, Vetch is Vetch. So yeah, you shoot him, and I think with the shot we get, it's just like his trembling hands kind of like go slack, go to the side, gun drops, and he falls to the ground. And I think there's just a hush. And I think the anathema, the null, kind of like scratches away from you, and even Lydia's looking like, holy shit, at you, Jaws. And I think the crowd's just like, oh. And then Varda and Nirvic walk out of the store and basically, I don't know, say the Spire equivalent of cheese it, and the store explodes, and the 4 of you run off. You're gonna take reputation stress. D3, just a small D3. Jaws.
Got a 2.
2. All right. Let's work that out. 2. Wow. That is a minuscule amount of stress. Well, compared to the others. Oh, that's a 10. Sorry, I looked at the 0. I was like, what? 0? Oh no, wait, that's a 10. I don't roll dice much, clearly. Also, yeah, you reduce fallout. You reduce stress when you incur fallout. I'll figure it out later for you, Varda. But yeah, so the 4 of you get away as like Vetches. It explodes and just I think mission completed for sure, what you set out to do. And I think kind of like just walk out the front door. It's great. I think you retreat back to back to the tavern. Is that like where you're based at, or it's somewhere safer? I suppose.
I think like one more scene needs to happen, like a very short one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a scene where we see Nirvic and maybe someone else as with me, and we are like, I suppose who would be pay, because I'm not sure. Are there some like guys who announce the news in the strike district, or are there no town criers? Is there something like this over here?
I think there are newspapers, because there's a entire other scenario where people have newspapers. So I think definitely there's the let me look up a name of newspaper from that place.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. A newspaper in the Shrike.
Yeah, give me a sec. Oh, there we go. Not to tie in every Spire game I've run, but I might as well. I think the name of the newspaper, and they started fairly recently. Well, they're ticking along. I don't think any player from that game is on here. No, the Jester's Epitaph is the name of that paper, and they're kind of like they're a bit sensationalist, but they made some big moves. They took down some big name papers. They're all about scathing examinations of the absurdity of the authorities, and they're talking about. And I think, what's the story you want out? Because you rolled quite well there, Nirvic. What's the story that you want to see the papers kind of blare out?
Yeah, I think what I want is I want to like draw some of my stories, like the comics, and obviously there is like a midwife with 4 guns and like a bandana around her face, and someone else just like and another like character like looking like an authority figure, like a knight, blowing up the stores. And there's a story there that there is that there is this like mysterious vigilantes who came from the knightly orders, and also like they take the vengeance upon the strike market, and that it is very dangerous and not advised to open any kind of like legal activities in the market anymore, or at least until they are like found out, something like this. So that we plant the seed of doubt in other entrepreneurs who want to like come here and start their business here.
Nice. I think, yeah. I think I'll let you have that. I think all the stuff y'all planned, all the stuff you did, for sure. Uh, it's the start, and I think that's enough of a big change. That's a change in the city. I'll figure out what advances y'all get in a minute. I think we'll do that after recordings. I think we're wrapping up. I think what I'm gonna ask is one last scene from each. Like, what do you want to frame and whatnot? I know we have to say goodbye to Jaws for now. But like, what's the last thing we see of each other? And then I have one last scene. But yeah, what's the last we see for now? Job well done.
I think if we're sitting somewhere, if Jaws is taking any sort of damage in the fight, Varda is just going to be stitching you up with some spider silk, just doing what I do, fixing you up a little bit, and if I even needed to, I guess I probably didn't with all your armor, but just checking out, making sure you're okay.
I guess Jaws is talking with Lydia, just making sure she's cool after the whole a guy got shot in front of her and also the place blew up.
Yeah, I think she's just like she's nodding. She's fortifying herself, and I think the thing she says is just like, yes. I'm fine. I just wasn't expecting that, but I should know. I believe there's still much for me to learn about what it is we can do. And okay, and Nirvic, it's nice to see you for now.
I think I had my scene when I was like convincing this jester's epitaph to print the story and just like draw it. So that was my scene.
Cool. All right. So here's what's gonna end. I think maybe not a bit of a time skip, maybe like a day or two. Where do you live, Varda?
I'm not sure what part of the city, but I think I definitely have my own. Lair, for better word, like being part spider, some sort of a little cave of my own. Not really a typical drow dwelling.
I think you get a visitor. I think someone like comes in first in the morning and kind of like first thing in the morning. They're very tired, haggard. Looks like they've been running for a while. This is your colleague Shunya from the Order of the Midwives. They're like dragging their robe behind them. It's just very bedraggled. And she looks at you, Varda, and she says, Ishkin's dead. What the hell did you do, Varda?
Well, you knew, and this is the one who knows I work for the ministry, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew I had important work to do, and we're still taking care of things. It just got a little bit out of hand.
Out of hand? Varda, the Solar Guard is on us. The Inquisitors are on us. They're looking for you, Varda. What the hell did you do?
We had to make an impact down here, and I drew too much attention. But I think I need to lay low. And I mean, you won't say anything, right? You knew that I had to do this. It's for the greater good.
I think. Sorry, I forgot their name again. Shunya kind of like moves to like. It looks like they really want to slap you, and then you say, but they demur and say, "Well, tell that to Ishkin and everyone else who's dead." And they're gonna storm out. So that's the fallout you got. Wrath of the Sun Gods.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's your 10 above stress, severe fallout. Things get rough in Spire when you just accumulate stress.
So
Varda
Varda clears how much? 7 stress from Shadow, yes?
I think 7 stress overall. I forgot where from each track. Yeah, severe fallout removes 7 stress. Yeah, I think that's where we'll end this session of Spire, if that's okay with folks. Anything else we forgot on debrief? But I always like to get on the record that y'all are great as always. Fucking great players. Oh wow, that was a session and a half. But again, thanks very much, folks. Anyone watching this wants to check out all the stuff we do in the Gauntlet? Links down below. They have a lot of APs. Here's something I like to plug. I'll put the link to like the RSS feed. You can now get stuff, the Gauntlet APs from YouTube on your podcast app of choice. So that's fab. You don't have to like open up YouTube to listen to this, like thousands of hours of APs. I'll put a link down there, and also a link to Spire. Check out all that stuff. But yeah, again, these are fantastic players. Thanks very much. It's been a pleasure playing with you all. Kyle, let's say goodbye to you. Hope to play with you again soon. But yeah, I'll end the broadcast now. Thanks very much again, folks.